Welcome to this edition of our 2015 MLB Draft special. If you've seen the previous first 4 episodes of the War Room, we've got tape on 6 prospects, including Dansby Swanson, Brendan Rodgers, Carson Fulmer out of Vanderbilt, Dylan Tate out of Illinois, Alex Bregman out of LSU, and I believe we had tape on one more player. I can't remember who exactly it was, but wait. Swanson, Tate, Fuller. It was Antonio Benintendi, the Arkansas center fielder that got on the Paul Finnenbaum show. That was the 6. So Benintendi, the 2 Vanderbilt players, Fulmer and Swanson, it's 3. Brendan Rodgers is 4. I mentioned Carson Fulmer already. Alex Bregman at LSU, and number 6 would be Brendan Rodgers. So yeah, I think that's 6. So that means that there are 20 more first-round prospects we're going to watch today, and if we're done with this before 2, I'll let Kern pick out a few athletes he wants to watch as well, because he might want to watch some Alabama baseball players or just some football players, and that's cool. We can do that as well, but we're going to start things off with Tyler J. He is projected to go 3rd overall to the Colorado Rockies in tonight's MLB Draft. And we got tape on Dansby Swanson and Brendan Rodgers, so if there's time, maybe we'll rewatch some of their tape at the end. But Tyler J is projected to be the top pitcher drafted, so let's see what he does here on tape. It's 45 seconds of footage, so it's not that much, but still gives you a better idea of what we're going to be working with here. Strikeout. Good pitch in the corner. I really like what I see from this guy. I mean, even though there's a variety of pitches with his slider, his changeup, his curveball, and fastball, and it's not just that. Like you see a lot of different pitches. All of his pitches are either in the top of the strike zone corner or the bottom of the strike zone corner. It's really hard to tell, but if you can see the tape from a close enough lens, then it looks like a guy that's hitting all those spots. Because you want to, when you strike out batters, you want to hit the upper spot of your strike zone and the bottom spot. And it looked like he hit both of those spots, don't you think?
What little slots I can see, because as I was telling you earlier, my video was choppy the whole time, so I saw bits and pieces of it.
All right, let's see. There's some more Tyler J. prospect video. I mean, we only really saw 45 seconds. And another tape of Tyler J., and then we'll check out Daz Cameron of Eagles Landing High School. He's projected to go 4th overall to the Texas Rangers. That was, all right, so upper corner, fastball in the upper corner. That looked like a curve in the lower corner.
Yeah, I can't tell pitches at all because of my video speed.
I can tell there's good command. It's really hard to tell where in the strike zone is because they don't give you that visual. But at the same time, it feels like the top of the strike zone would be right below the batter's bat near the umpire, and the bottom would be right near.
No, the strike zone by rule book is the midpoint of the chest to the middle of the knees. That's rule book definition.
I'm guessing private workout with the Red Sox. Looks like it.
This is like a college game.
It does. Yeah, there's hardly anybody there though. I think it's a private workout.
Sometimes there's a lot of time college games are not attended all that well, especially for no name schools.
All right, let's check out Daz Cameron's tape for Eagles Landing High School. Because I think Tyler J, based on the tape I saw, that's probably is the best pitcher, I think, in terms of where – because I saw some good stuff from Carson Fulmer and Dylan Tate. And I still think Dylan Tate's the best pitcher, but I can see why people would take Tyler J as the first pitcher in the draft. He looked really good, and I don't think he'd get past Boston if they picked him at 7, but he could easily go 3rd to Colorado as well. So here's Daz Cameron at Eagles Landing High School. What is Invictus Award?
It's an ad.
It's an ad. I thought this was like an ad for like a really good TV show or something. I can skip it. This looks like Wipeout with soldiers and military officers and stuff. But I'm not one to judge since I'm not as extreme or as physical as those athletes. See a lot of line drives and possible home runs from Daz Cameron, but it's hard to tell where he's hitting the ball. But you see a good power swing, and you like the way he's aiming with his bat. Kind of reminds me of Vladimir Guerrero. I mean, I compared him to Kenny Lofton at first, but after watching his power swing on tape, I can see some Guerrero in him. So he'll miss sometimes. He hits a grounder, he's ruled out. Pop up. Looked like a line drive. I don't think it was a home run. Showed good speed there. Burst. That's a good hit. I mean, got to the base safely. Baseball field's referred to as the diamond, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so the pitch was the soccer field. I was afraid I'd get those mixed up. But he does a good job running towards the bases on the diamond. There are a few things that you'd like to see him do more of, but I could see why he'd be a top 5 bat and a pretty complete batter in this year's class because he's got excellent tape. Because I had this guy at number 5 in most of my mocks, and I moved him down to 15 in my 2-round or 3-round mock. and then I moved him back up to number 5, and then I moved him up to 4 in my final mock. So he looks like a pretty good player. I mean, if you can't land one of the big bats in Brendan Rodgers or Dansby Swanson out of Vanderbilt, that's probably your top batting option. Did he remind you more of Kenny Lofton or Vladimir Guerrero? Because I saw flashes of both of those guys when I saw this guy at bat.
What little bit I could tell thanks to the video, I only get like a few seconds at a time. I pretty much get they still take pictures. I would say more of Lofton.
Yeah, that's what I originally went with. Got Kyle Tucker going 6 to the Twins. But let's see what he does here. The Twins always take high school bats. So if Daz Cameron slips out of the top 5, I think they'd take him even though they already got Buxton. But they have a huge need at left field, and Kyle Tucker is the top left fielder among the high school bats. So you'd think he'd be a perfect fit.
Next week.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd take this guy in the top 10. He really hasn't impressed much on tape. That was his one good swing.
Looks like he has a good eye.
He does have good eye contact. He only swung at something once. And I don't know if those were walks or strikeouts. It was hard to tell.
No, all the pitches looked low from what little bit I could see. It looked low.
Well, we got another Kyle Tucker tape so we can figure out more stuff. I'm not ready to dismiss him yet. There's one more. He had a fielding percentage of 1,000 in high school, so the guy can field. And he's showing some athleticism and versatility to play center field or right field, which I didn't see before because he was a left fielder at Plant High School. Now it looks like he's lined up at right field.
No, this is a workout, so he could play anything. And outfielders are good. Usually, it takes more skill to play the middle than the corners, in my eye. Because the middle, you can cover a whole lot more of a ground than the corner outfield spots. But this is a workout video. That's why you saw him in right.
Yeah.
Because they just had everybody lined up there.
So does everybody works out for an MLB team at line up at right field when they do these workouts?
It's up to the individual team. So this one had them all lining up in right. It just depends.
So this is probably a corner outfielder. He played left field in high school, but they lined him up at right field. We don't know if he can play center field in the middle, but he can be a corner outfielder. That's all we know. Because the center fielder, like you said, the center fielder has to takes up more space and they can do more. He does a much better job batting in this video, even though he got off to a rough start. Home run. Line drive, line drive. So he did better down the stretch of this video, but he's definitely going to need a few years in the minors. I'd say at least 3 to 4.
Yeah, I would say it'll probably be 4 to 5 before he's called up.
Yeah.
He'll probably start in a short A.
Yeah, but then you got short A, then you got short A plus, then double A, then triple A, then MLB. And I think he'll have to spend at least a year on each of the minor league teams before he makes the
Both
jump.
rookie and short A are only half seasons that get going after college baseball. Long A is the first full season that you start in April and go until September, and then you have double and it's more commonly referred to as just regular A is or it's a long A.
I have a quick question here. So single A baseball, there's single A and then there's single A plus, which is like the advanced single A version. Does the advanced single A version go from April to September, or does the regular single A version go from April to September?
Usually you'll have a rookie ball, which is a June to they said September. Then you have short A, and then A advanced, which is a regular season, April to May to September. That's when you start playing the entire season.
So single A advanced is when you start playing the entire season.
Yeah, you play 100, 150, 160 games. Because remember, most of your rookie and short A teams are filled from prospects that are just out of college or high school, people that was just drafted in that year's draft.
Okay, that makes more sense. So he could start out at single A, probably get up to double A by 2017, and then from there on out, he'd be a project, and he'd probably come up to the majors in either 2019 or 2020. I agree with that. That seems like a logical way to assess things.
Yeah.
Joe Harris out of Missouri State. And I remember Missouri State played Arkansas, and they gave up like 16 runs. I don't know if he was pitching in that game, but Joe Harris out of Missouri State is I cannot find any Joe Harris highlights for the Missouri State pitcher. So I guess we'll skip him and we'll go to the next player. So I guess we'll let Kern pick a player he wants to watch for any sport at the end to replace Joe Harris. Ian Happ went to Mount Lebanon High School, and when I first moved to Pittsburgh, that was the school I almost ended up enrolling in because we were looking at a house in Mount Lebanon, and I thought it was a good neighborhood at the time, but my parents didn't like the home, so we ended up having to search for homes. We ended up staying at a hotel, and eventually I ended up moving into Wexford and enrolling in North Allegheny instead of Mount Lebanon. But Ian Happ is from Pittsburgh. He's on the Cincinnati Bearcats, and I've seen him mock to the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I have him going to the Reds in my mock, but I've seen a lot of mocks mock him to the Braves and the Pirates as well. Braves pick 14th. Pirates pick 19th, and I have him going 11th or 12th, I think. I have him going 11th to the Reds. The Marlins picked 12th, so they could take this guy as well. But he's a right fielder from what I've seen on tape. But maybe we'll see his fielding. So Nick Brother Rice High School.
He was lucky not to get ejected there.
He was certainly lucky not to get ejected there. Baseball America, Ian Happ tape. So let's see what else. He can play infield too. Now he's playing some shortstop on that play. I thought he was more of a center. I've seen him line up at right field, but if he can play shortstop, he's probably an infielder / outfielder, meaning he'll have.
That's what it said on his intro sheet. Infield, outfield.
Yep, because I've seen him line up at right field on some other tape, and I read on the Bearcats website that he was projected to be a corner outfielder at right field. But if he can play anywhere in the infield or the outfield, he's a good plug-and-play guy as well as a good bat, meaning he'd be a good player to take a flyer on. So I think him, I'm not sure if it was Nick Plummer or who it was. We already had the Fangraphs thing, so we're going to go. I don't think it was Nick Plummer, so I'm going to go to, let's see here. What do we want to do? We'll go to Colby Allard. And so we've got 14 more players to watch after this. So we've only gotten through a few athletes. Colby Allard, that's a good curveball right down the middle.
Yes, these are warm-up pitches, though.
That's true.
I don't put any stock in warm-up pitches.
I'm just trying to get a feel for what he can do. I mean, you can't really say he has good stock on those warm-up pitches. You're just trying to. That looked like a fastball.
It looked low.
It was low. That was a good ball because the ball was right near his shoe rather than the knees. I
Ooh,
think
that ball got way away.
Tyler Stevenson might be the catcher for this because I've seen Tyler Stevenson projected to go higher than the catcher in my mock, Chris Betts. Stevenson's built a lot of momentum, and I'm pretty sure he's the catcher on this team.
I'm seeing control issues.
Yeah, me too. I'm seeing some accuracy issues, and I had the same concerns about Dylan Tate and not Dylan Tate, but who I think Dylan Bundy, the Orioles pitcher that they took in 2011, and Cole Stewart, the Twins' top 5 draft pick. Both of those pitchers had accuracy concerns. They had good arms and tremendous velocity, but they also had concerns with their pitching accuracy and how precise their pitches were. And I see the same thing with Colby Allard.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see the whole pitch. I just see steals, but I can see based on how the catcher's moving, trying to get away, trying to get the pitches. It has some control issues.
Yeah, and I've heard one person say that Tyler Stevenson, I think the catcher for this team, could go in the top 10, and this guy might fall a bit. So I don't know what's going to happen. That'll be interesting to see what happens, but I don't have this catcher in the first 2 rounds of my mock. But this stuff happened like just a few days leading up to the draft, and I didn't think much of it at the time because not many teams need catchers, but maybe this guy will be something. We'll see. Ash Russell of Cathedral High School has a chance to convince me he's the top pitcher because I think Colby Allard might be a future bust. Like, for some reason, I feel like this guy lacks a lot of control. Oh, there did a better job on that last pitch. But
Yeah, at the end, Lily's control got better, but that's something they can work on. And it might be a case of where he doesn't sign and goes to a college to
I
work
think
on
that's
his
smart.
control.
He could be a top 5 or top 10 pick in 3 years if he went to college. Yeah. Ash Russell, he's got like the Jared Weaver type mullet. He looks like he's got pretty good stuff in terms of his accuracy and his pitches. I mean, one person compared this guy to Clayton Kershaw, and I see a lot of Jared Weaver in him. So he looks like he could be a good player to add at some point.
You know, a little bit I could see.
That was his one
Whoa.
pitch.
Control issue on his warm-up pitch. That's not good.
Nope. See, a lot of these high school pitchers have some control issues with their pitches, which is why I see a lot of the college pitchers getting drafted ahead of him because those guys don't have control issues with their pitches.
Yeah, what might happen, they'll spend more time working on that in the minors.
I think I have this guy going to the Braves at 14 in my mock. Are the Braves your favorite MLB team?
Yeah, only one of my so-called local teams. I'm actually they're actually my number one team.
So yeah, this is the guy I currently have mocked to the Braves, and then every other player that's left to watch is a guy that I've mocked below the Braves. So if you see someone else on the tape that you like better than this guy, let me know.
Looks like he does have some decent control besides those two warm-up pitches. Runner on first.
Second. I like how they're clocking the pitches in. That means it's probably a curveball because curveballs and
Yeah,
sliders are rarely in the 90s.
thanks for pointing that out. I didn't even notice that. back up on that one.
There.
Yeah. Okay. Back back up a little bit more. I want to take a look at that one.
You mean the out?
Yeah. 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 When he threw down.
Catcher throws it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying on the pickoff. It looked like they wasn't expecting him to steal. That was a good pickoff move by the catcher because they wasn't expecting him to steal, so he did not throw a pitch out. He threw he threw a normal pitch, but not a pitch out to try to have an easier arm throw for the catcher. That's what I was trying to see. What pitch he threw? He threw there. Looked like a curve.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what we got here. Ash Russell, Hopper, Kyle Tucker. This is Mike Mikorak at the showcase.
That was good. He might go up a little bit higher. Only question I have
Well, Mike Mikorak's
is
a
he thrown?
prospect. He could go as high as number 5 overall, and he could fall all the way to 15 on the Milwaukee Brewers. He's
Yeah.
to go.
Question is, how much has he thrown already? So, how close could he be to potential Tommy John?
I
That's
don't.
the one thing. That's the one thing you have to keep an eye on. How much has he thrown?
All right. So next up is Nathan Kirby of the Cleveland Indians, the guy I mocked, the Cleveland Indians. Kirby had like a lower back injury that caused him to miss 4 to 6 weeks earlier in the season. Here he is at Pitt Panthers. So we'll watch this, and then we'll watch a 2015 game.
Those not going to be good day. Thanks to the cage.
Yep. It's going to be harder to get a view on him. Not really reading too much in the warm-ups, and I had a hard time seeing with the cage in the background, which is the only reason why I fast-forwarded to this point. So Nathan Kirby is still warming up here. Well, this baseball stadium has to be somewhere in Pittsburgh on the Pittsburgh Panthers student campus because this can't be like near P. This isn't PNC Park. Way to go. Nate Kirby just set up a double play. Sets up another double play there. I mean, this guy is brilliant at setting up these double plays. It's twice on tape.
Might be a ball specialist.
He had 131 strikeouts in 2014, but that number got reduced to 72 this season because he dealt with an injury. And this was a top 10 prospect heading into the season, but his stock took a hit because he missed 4 to 6 weeks with an injury. We need to find a 2015 game of this guy because if he missed 4 to 6 weeks with an injury in 2015, and this tape's from last year, then you're going to see the guy that looked like a top 10 pick from before the injury. The question is, are you going to see a top 10 guy after he got injured? That's what you want to find out as a scout. Virginia's in the College World Series. They're one of 8 teams that qualified, so he'll get a chance to pitch on the bigger stage after he gets drafted. Excuse me. After this, we're going to have a few more college baseball prospects. Kevin Newman out of Arizona, DJ Stewart out of Florida State, Michael Matuella out of Duke. Good strikeout pitch there.
I'm looking up something really fast.
Nathan Kirby. I mean, I see a lot of good stuff from him, but I want to get a 2015 game of this guy. Because,
yeah.
I mean, if he's a top 10 prospect and he got an injury that caused him to drop 10 spots in the draft because of an injury in 2015, you have to see what he can do after the injury. We've both gone over this. I've repeated it a ton of times, but that's the thing you were concerned about with Miko Ninnarak, the Stroudsburg High School pitcher that did well. Is he going to have those durability issues, or is he going to require some form of Tommy John surgery, or how close is he, or how many pitches has he pitched?
Uh-huh.
I mean, Nathan Kirby, 18 strikeouts. Wow, 18 strikeouts in a game. Let's see when this game is from, and then we'll get a Nathan Kirby 2015.
18 strikeouts.
Yeah,
That's a high. That's a high. Pitch count.
Yeah. Two of them are against. Okay, so 18 of them were against the Pitt Panthers. I'm not sure if this is the tape we just saw Nate Kirby.
No, it's different.
Yeah, but they're in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is wearing the white uniforms. I think it's just the back of it. Like, it could be the same Pitt.
No, it's a different. The mound's different.
You think one of those was a tournament game on neutral field, and this one's probably on Pittsburgh's campus?
Yeah.
Based on what I see, I'm hoping my prophecy of Nathan Kirby going to the Cleveland Indians at 18 comes true, but he looks really good. I mean, this looks like one of the better players we've seen. But I want to see how he responds from his 2015 game. And I think he's better than Danny Holtzen. And I was really high on Danny Holtzen. When the 2011 MLB draft approached, that was my first year of scouting. I remember there was Garrett Cole out of UCLA and Holtzen. And I liked Holtzen better than Cole. And Holtzen has had to deal with ACL injuries and multiple Tommy John surgery, while Garrett Cole's gone on to have a very promising career. So I see a little bit of Holtzen without the Tommy John surgery. But I see a much better player, and I think he could end up falling like Sonny Gray did, who eventually became the #1 ace in the Athletics rotation. Nathan Kirby 2015. Let's see what we get. Nathan Kirby scouting video 2015. I mean, he's still getting some good pitches in, but he doesn't look as good as he did during his sophomore highlights from 2014. But he's still productive.
I think he's looking just as good. For a little bit, I could see.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan Kirby should go before the top 17. I mean, he looked really good in that tape. And Kevin Newman out of Arizona is the next player we'll watch.
Try lowering the video quality. I might be able to see more. If you lower,
that. Is there a way to lower the video quality in Google Hangout?
Yeah, with the YouTube videos.
All right, I'm gonna try.
No, I will walk you through with the next video.
All right. We can watch that. We can watch DJ Stewart's. I don't know if we got the DJ Stewart Grand Slam.
Hey, pause it.
I paused it.
Hey, see the gear?
The gear, the settings?
Yeah. Quality. Okay, it's already at 480. Yeah, try the 360.
I'm not going to lower it anything past 360 because I'm not sure that's
Yeah.
Can you see better now?
I don't know. It's not playing yet. No, it does the same.
Maybe the speed's at normal. Should I put the speed at 0.5 instead of 1 second?
No, no, it'll be fine.
All right. Should I just keep the quality at 360 then?
Yeah.
All right. DJ Stewart looks good. I'm not sure if he's the top 20 pick. A lot of people have him falling in the first or second round, but one fan told me his numbers were awesome and he looks like a top 10 pick. So we'll see what happens with DJ Stewart. Michael Matuella. He did not pitch in 2015 because he tore an ACL. And Tommy John surgery. So first game is from March 2015 and the second game is from March 2014. So this is the 2014 game. That was the 2015 game we saw. And I think it's safe to say he has more control in the pitches. It's too early to say right now, but he definitely didn't show a lot of control in the first game. So if we see more control in this game, it's because he had better 2014 tape. I still feel like he could succeed and end up being a huge steal, but at the same time, he's going to need a lot of time in the minors. It was a good pitch. Nice zip, good velocity. So Clark out of Richmond High School. Let's see. Swing mechanics at 200 FPS. I don't know what FPS stands for.
Frames per second.
Montuel looked good. I liked his second tape better than his first game of tape. What about you?
I couldn't really tell much because of my internet speed.
Okay, it's at auto 720 pixels HD. That's where it's at. So this video, I'll put it at 360. See if that'll make it. I mean, he looked good from what we saw for a brief second. Garrett.
Yeah. All you can tell, you can't see enough with that one swing.
14 home runs in less than 5 minutes. Alex Bregman. He's a top 10 draft prospect, but he might go in the top 5. But to get that many home runs in that little time is pretty impressive. So
No, it's not. I can show all Barry Bonds 755 in 10 minutes.
all 755 home runs Barry Bonds hit in 10 minutes. You could actually put a video of that.
Yeah.
That would be amazing if you could pull that off. Need to see a little bit more of, but there's some potential there, but I think he's going to need some seasoning at the same time.
I couldn't tell anything because it all froze on me.
Yeah, it froze on me for a few seconds. I'm guessing you're a few seconds behind. That's Brendan Rodgers, the top 5 draft prospect. Garrett Whitley. Yeah, here's a Garrett Whitley video. Another Garrett Whitley video. This will be the second Garrett Whitley video we've watched, and then we'll go to Brady Aiken, last year's #1 pick that did not sign with the Houston Astros. He's eligible for this year's draft, but he tore his ACL, had Tommy John surgery, and yeah, now his stock's taking a hit. He might not even go in the first round. He might end up going in the supplemental first round. You know, look at all the money Brady Aiken probably lost. He wanted $6.5 million or $4.5 million or $6.5 million, which is what they originally offered him. But then they withdrew the offer after he failed a physical, made it like $4 million. So
yeah, because I saw that in ESPN magazine. His ligaments say it was narrower than normal. That's why the offer was rescinded.
Yeah, and he didn't like the offer, so he walked out on the negotiations. And if he had,
No, no. The club rescinded the offer because of the physical. Because it brought up something weird. Because he did everything right.
yeah, this is Chris Betts. He's the guy we're gonna watch after Brady Aiken, and because they showed a clip of him now, it's like might as well watch him now. And we can watch Brady Aiken afterwards. So at More Baseball, that's the Twitter handle. If you want to check these guys out, check out their stuff.
I couldn't really tell all that much.
Is that Axon or where's that?
What?
That noise in the background. Is that Axon's chat room?
No, Faye. It's my text messages going off.
That's cool. Okay, this is from last year before Cathedral Catholic High School. I think Ash Russell pitched there. Or maybe this is a different school. But I mean, it was these pitches that got him to be the number one pick because it looked like he had good control and command of his pitches at the time.
Mm-hmm.
two more players after this: Walker Buehler of Vanderbilt and Phil Bickford of Southern Nevada Community College. So after that, we'll be done watching tape on all the prospects for the draft, and I don't know. I guess we can watch Mikey White, Alabama shortstop, because he's ineligible for tonight's draft.
Yeah, and what reports I have been hearing was that it's in a lot because I didn't watch a whole lot of college baseball. He's looking possibly compensation round 1 or to the third round.
I think Alabama does have another player at center fielder that I mocked in my third round, but Mikey White's supposed to be the top player drafted for Alabama.
Yeah. Because what Brady Aiken did, he threw 85 pitches per appearance when he started. Even if once he hit 85, that was it. Even if it was in the middle of an at bat, him, his coach, and his dad, they all came up with that 85 no matter what.
Yeah, then you usually want your number 1 or number 2 pitcher to have at least 100 pitches under their belt. So this is a guy that would probably end up being at best, number 4, number 5.
No, he was their ace, but by to limit the arm damage, they only did the 85 pitches no matter what.
No, I'm saying he was the ace for their high school and for the college team. But at the MLB, once he finishes developing, I'm thinking he'll be a number 4 or number 5 starter in its rotation at the MLB.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
Because they only did that to limit his arm strength, limit the damage on his arm.
Well, the Washington Nationals took the same approach with Steven Strasburg.
Yeah, but you got to remember that's not a natural throwing motion for the arm. Our arms are not meant to go that way.
So this is Walker Buehler, the Vanderbilt pitcher. And at the beginning of the year, he was projected to go way ahead of Carson Fulmer. But he had a really bad ERA. And now he could go at the end of the first round. Yeah, if you guys hear noise in the background, it's because I think I have a popcorn kernel or something stuck in between my teeth, which means I probably need to floss my teeth after this. That's assuming if you even watched all the way to the end without getting irritated by the noise. Yeah, I'm trying not to laugh at myself, but it's kind of funny. Until the video plays. Thank you. I think Vanderbilt got annoyed with my Ben Stiller impression. I mean, Ben Stein impression. Do officials grab catchers by the back like that at the MLB?
Yeah, some of them do.
Phil Bickford. He was at Cal State Fullerton, but he transferred to Southern Nevada. So I guess we can watch both of his tapes from Cal State Fullerton and Southern Nevada. Is this the movie where he tries to write the essay and then that girl shows up and then he ends up having to lock up they end up getting locked up in like some prison or something, not some prison but some warehouse. I think this is that movie.
Don't know.
Yep, Margot. Yep, this is the trailer I saw at the Entourage movie. He tries to hook up with Margot. They get stuck in a warehouse. He helps her break the law. She invades his house. Yep. I don't need to show you the rest, but yeah, it's kind of like a scary movie with some hardcore stuff in it. "93 miles per hour." This is from 2014. He transferred to Southern Nevada Community College, and we'll get that tape up.
I couldn't see anything on that video. It was too jumpy.
So there's another Phil Bickford, a Cal State Fullerton video. And it's on in HD, 720 quality. So we'll watch this tape. We'll watch a Southern Nevada Community College tape of this guy, and then we'll watch Mikey White at Alabama, and then we'll call it a day. I thought it would take like 3 hours to get all the prospects and tape up of the players, but it's really only taken 1 hour just to get one round of prospects up. I'm surprised how short this is. Ooh, some Oaks Christian High School video. Jimmy Clausen went to Oaks Christian High School in California, so before he went to Notre Dame. Yeah, I mean, this guy looks like a number 5 pitcher in a starting rotation, but at the same time, he was the ace on all of his teams, whether it's Cal State, Fullerton, Southern Nevada, Oaks Christian High School. And he's listed on a site called bullpenbanter.com, meaning most of the players they scout are probably bullpen guys. So this guy will probably end up moving to middle reliever. He could probably play the setup, long reliever, closer, middle reliever, or MLB starter. But at the end of the day, he might end up moving to middle reliever in the bigs. But he'll start out as a starting pitcher, and they'll see what they can do with him, or whether they want to move him to the bullpen.
There's no telling.
There really isn't. So he's got a 78 and an 80-mile-per-hour fastball.
Remember, this was three or 4 years ago.
Yep. I think it might have only been 2 years ago, because if a player wants to leave early, like 1 or 2 years after high school, they can, but they have to transfer to a community college in order to re-enter the draft. They can't play for an FBS school. That's a community college for a year if they want to re-enter the draft right after. Because Brady Aiken didn't sign, he went to a community college for a year. Now he's re-entering the draft instead of having to wait the 3 years.
Mm-hmm. I really could not tell a whole lot because of the pictures.
Yeah, me neither. So we'll watch Mikey White, and then we'll end this call. So
None of those are recent, so you can't really tell anything. This is like his high school career, so I just want to hope they have video of his recent career.
yeah, I'm hoping they do.
But all of they says is high school. Every single bit of it.
Yeah, it's high school. I am gonna find some Mikey White Alabama tape though. I'm gonna make that a mission right now. I mean, here we go. But there's barely anything on this tape. Maybe we can get something else, but 46 seconds, you're not really gonna do much. Yeah, this is against Vanderbilt. This is from 6 days ago, so it makes me wonder if Vanderbilt.
That was from the tournament.
That's what I was implying. The SEC tournament.
That's the one you already saw.
The SEC tournament that we already saw on TV. I think Alabama may have made it to the semifinals and lost to Vanderbilt, and then Florida beat LSU, and then Florida ended up facing Vanderbilt for the championship. That's what I'm guessing what happened. I don't know if
They made it to the finals like 6.
Okay, so they made it to the final 6.
Yeah.
So them and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt won that game in order to get to the semis, and then Vanderbilt won their semifinal game, and then Florida ended up, because I'm guessing either Vanderbilt beat Texas A&M or LSU to get to their game, and then Florida beat the other team, and then, because I know Florida and Vanderbilt each had a loss before they faced each other in the tournament.
I have to go back and look at the brackets.
You can do that. I'm going to see if there's more Mikey White tape.
Nuh-uh.
Nope, there's no more Mikey White highlights of him at Alabama. But, yeah, I mean, there's an Under Armour game. There's high school footage of him. But there really isn't a guy that I don't think I can find anything of Mikey White here. So Alabama's Mikey White double play against Auburn. It's 42 seconds, but it's still a highlight.
Yeah, that's from his freshman season.
He's got a nice glove. I've seen a few of his games, and I know he's got a
Yeah.
good glove.
It looks like his range is decent.
I'd like to see him become more of a power hitter, but I know he can get some hits and get on base. He's got good but not great speed, and I think my glove is the favorite thing about Mikey White.
Yeah.
He's got a great arm when firing the ball, too, as well.
Yeah, for a little bit I saw whether he does.
So that's the Mikey White segment. So that's all the tape we have for you guys this week. And we'll quickly recap some of the things we learned. I learned about how a lot of these prospects, they have certain issues. Most of them need seasoning in the minors. And a few of the guys that looked pretty complete today were Ash Russell out of Cathedral High School. After Daz Cameron and the other guy that we watched, Tyler J., it felt like there was a bit of a drop-off. I mean, there's still guys, every single one of these guys is going to need 2 or 3 years to develop. But after Cameron and Jay, it felt like, well, instead of having a guy that needs 2 or 3 years in the minors, you're going to need 3 to 4 years or 4 to 5 years. It felt like there was a drop-off because there were guys where you saw their tape and you saw some of the flaws in their game and what they were trying to cover up or hide, and that definitely affected how you assessed them. Ian Happ of Cincinnati, I liked what I saw from him as well, but after Happ, you saw some of the guys just drop, and they looked like 4 or 5 year players rather than 2 to 3 year players. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on those. None of them would be ready in 2 to 3 years. I think most would be in the 3 to 4 year range.
That's what I'm saying. I think most of the prospects are 3 to 4 year projects, and the 2 top 5 guys, like the first 2 guys we watched, Tyler J., the Illinois pitcher, and Daz Cameron, the high school bat, those 2 players that are projected to go in the top 5 might be up in 2 to 3 years. But the key word is might. I'm not guaranteeing that they will be. And then everybody else is probably going to need at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I'd say closer to the 3 years.
Probably 3 years. But that does it for today's edition. Tomorrow on the War Room, I'm going to probably discuss some NFL, NHL, and NBA content. Depends on what Joey does, because if Joey and you both show up, we'll probably just watch strictly football, because there are some hockey players. I've watched the top 10 hockey players, but I haven't really watched any hockey tape since Wednesday. So, yeah, we'll go back to hockey tomorrow. All right. Have a good one. Take care, man.
Uh huh.